Antavanta ime deha Nityasyoktā sharirinaha Anashino prameyasya Asmadyudhyasva bharatam Ya enam vetti hantaram Yaschainam manyate hadam Ubhau tau na vijanitaha Ayam bhante na hanyate Na jayate mriyate ma kadachit Nayam bhutva bhavita mana bhuyaham Ajo nitya shashvatoyam puranaha Na hanyate hanyamane sharire Veda vinashinam nityam Ya enamajamam vyayam Katham sapurusha partha Ghatayati hantikam Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya Navani grinhati naro parani Tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani Anyani sayyadi navani dehi So this is the verse we were just reading. Antavanta ime deha. You can look at the words, try to have a feeling of the words. Antavanta. Anta means end. Vanta means vale. Antavale. Ime, these. Ye. Deha, bodies. See, ये जितनी शरीरें हैं ये सब अंत होने वाले हैं. You can feel Bhagavan's own words. Antavanta ime deha. All the bodies have to come to an end. Therefore, if the bodies have to come to an end, that is the reality. That is the sacred reality. Sacred reality means every reality is sacred. Reality alone is sacred. What is the truth about the body? That it has to change and age and be dead and be gone. It goes back to the five elements. It is taken from the five elements and it will go back into the five elements. That's it. That is the truth and that is sacred. And my expectation to the contrary of that reality makes me suffer. Suffering comes from any expectation contrary to the reality. That's it. When I try to oppose the truth, I get the beating. What do I get? The beating. a lot of suffering comes in life, not as a matter of destiny. A lot of suffering comes because we don't respect the truths. We don't respect the truth. We try to have expectations contrary to the truth. Therefore, once I respect the truth, I have to go one day, this form I have to lose. Then I should not build my well-being on the body which is subject to. Once I lose the body, then I lose everything connected to the body anyway. All my people related to me are only through the form. When I transcend form, then I transcend all the relationships. When I transcend form, then I am neither a father, nor a son, nor a brother, nor a sister, and definitely not a housewife. You see? Because when I transcend the form, I transcend the house also. When I transcend the house, then I also transcend the identity of being a housewife. Clear? And therefore, building our well-being on what is subject to go, building our well-being on what is subject to go, is define the truth. It's define the truth. Define in sense not successfully but unsuccessfully. You can't define the truth, you can't change the truth, you can't successfully define the truth. You will unsuccessfully define the truth and in the process suffer. Therefore, the more we imagine our fulfillment through the body and through everything that is related to the body, in life, in time, in old age, we come to get disillusion. We get disillusion. One small instance, this is not rare, this is very commonplace these days. You really worked hard the whole life and then you made a house, beautiful house, and in a very posh colony, in defense colony, you made a huge house, 3-storied, huge bungalow, unwieldy bungalow, and there is nobody to maintain it because your children have gone away to America. Everybody, you are alone, you are 80 plus, and even Mem Sahib is not there, you are alone. And then you can't even do it. What will happen? Therefore, if you build your imagination, if you build well-being on material things, definitely disillusionment. Therefore, here Krishna says, instead of living your life, building your happiness on the things which are subject to go, you better build your well-being on the truth. And the truth is that you are by nature transcendent to the form. You are by nature not the form. By nature you are not the form. Therefore, use your life not only to work, not only to do your duty, not only to maintain a family, but that is only a setup. And setup is not meant for itself. Setup is always for a greater purpose. I want you to think on this line. Think if you think it is right, it is already, then leave it. It is not that really you should just blindly believe. We always have a setup for a purpose. Home is a purpose. House is a purpose. We create a home so that you can relax at home. You can use that shelter and live for a greater, it's kind of a launching pad So you do your duties, you assure yourself, your comforts, your survival, and then use your time for understanding the truth. Thus, trying to build your well-being on the truth rather than on the things which are subject to go. If somebody feels, I am blessed because I have got good looks. Hey, what are your good looks? Good looks can also be, good looks sometimes need not assure you happiness. Good looks. In fact, if you are born with good looks, it's a matter for concern. Good looks can be a matter for concern. पता नहीं क्या क्या होने वाला है. Is it not? पता नहीं क्या क्या होने वाला है. Because average looks still okay. But good looks can create problems. And therefore, but anyway, these are all common sense knowledge. We all know all this. We have to be clear. When you have good looks, you don't have to bank on looks for your happiness, nor can you bank on anything material for your happiness. And therefore, the only thing that can save human beings is that they should look at the core of their being, that they should dissect, so to speak, themselves. They should dissect themselves. They should explore into themselves. They should study themselves. Studying ourselves can save humanity, and minus studying themselves, then they will not change at all. There will be no reform. Human beings will always be impulsive. Human beings will always be violent. They will always be unfair, and they will try to destroy one another, control one another, and ultimately all of them collectively get into trouble. And therefore, the one thing that can save humanity on the earth and even other living beings elsewhere in the creation, anywhere there are individuals in the creation, minus studying themselves, they will be, I am sure, into trouble exactly as we are into trouble. You see, just as we want to travel so that we can control more of the creation, there will be other individuals traveling towards us to control the earth. One day, it may not be a distant future, it may not be too late, sooner than expected. We may come to know that this what we call this aliens coming and visiting the earth may be true. I always get one small little doubt whenever I hear about the aliens. Why do they always visit America? You see, why do they visit all the time America? Even they are fond of Americans. America. Why do they visit America? Why do they visit America? Why can't they visit Himalayas? Because we don't see any alien. अगर हम लोगों को एलियन अगर दिखाया पड़ा, हम तो नहीं कोई भूत है, कोई भूत है. Even if they come, we can never really find them. Unable to find, unable to follow. Therefore, anyway, wherever there are individuals in the creation, wherever there are individuals in the creation, they will definitely get into trouble if they don't study themselves. Studying ourselves is the way out of the mess. Studying ourselves. We always make something else as the topic to study. We always want to study the trees and the rocks. We want to study the plants, animals, means something, objects. And that is how so much of empirical science has come, because we are all the time studying the world, that is also necessary. But studying the world and not studying ourselves can promote science all right, empirical, physical, science all right, and it can improve our standard of living, etc. That is all wonderful, that's not undesirable, that's necessary. But ultimately, we keep growing, we reach our goal of fulfillment, not through studying the world alone, but we have to study ourselves. Who is the one who is aware of the world? Studying the self. When we study the world, that is called, all the knowledge that we get out of studying the world is called aparavidya. What is it called? Aparavidya. Material science. Aparavidya. And the knowledge that we get out of studying ourselves is called paravidya. The knowledge about the name and form, and the knowledge about the self, the observer. You see? Therefore here Bhagavan says, hey, if you have worry about the body, then you can't do anything about it. If the body is short-lived, that's what it is. No, I wish I could live 1,000 years. No, it is trying to entertain a wish contrary to the truth. In fact, nothing makes us more relaxed as much as accepting the realities. Accepting the realities. Therefore Krishna says, well, these bodies have to come to an end. Now, this is one thing. I'll tell you something more practical. We are worried about losing the body. Okay, everybody worries about losing the body. What is that body? The body, when you lose it, you don't miss it. I'm telling you, understand this point clearly. Very, very sophisticated point, and you have to listen. Supposing you have a friend, and he has been living with you, and when he goes, you don't miss him. What does it mean? Not a big loss. If you miss it, it is a loss. If you don't miss it, supposing your friend or something, or you had some piece of furniture, okay, and then it is gone, and then when it is gone, you don't miss it. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means not a big loss. You lose it, and after losing it, you don't miss it. Oh, chale gaya. You don't miss it. What does it mean? Not a big loss. Clear up to that? Not a click bigger. But when you transcend the body, when you fall asleep and leave the body, do you miss it? Do you miss the body? Before you took the body, did you miss it? Before you were born, did you miss the body? Did you miss the parents? Did you miss the children? Did you miss anything of this world? That means, when something goes and if you don't miss it, that means that is not the truth. Understand? That's not valuable. I mean, very huge statement, but don't try to subjectively interpret, listen. Don't go about imagining things, just listen. When you lose something and you don't miss it, that means that's not the truth. That's a false thing. Like when you wake up from the dream and then you had a lot of money there and you had some pleasures, you had good friends and parents and you had a huge house in Gurgaon with a swimming pool. You had a farmhouse in Gurgaon with a swimming pool. And of course you are still learning how to swim. That is another matter. And you had such a thing in the dream, and then you woke up. When you woke up, do you miss it? Do you miss it? Literally, truly do you miss it? No. You say, it's false, it's a dream. Whenever you lose something and don't miss it, that means it is false. It is not possible to lose a thing and then really lose a thing and not miss it if it is highly valuable. True. Like Vairagya, for instance, listen, you had an excellent temperament. You had Vairagya. You are a very good person. Everybody loved you. And you were very, very non-hurtful. You were very nice, very kind, very compassionate, generous, loving, good to the children, not shouting, not pulling their hair, etc. Everybody loved you. And then suddenly, I don't know what happened, you went to America and came back and some transformation taken place. You lost that temperament. And after losing that temperament, you definitely miss it. Why? You miss it because it is valuable. And it is related to the truth. Because that kind of temperament can help you understand the truth because it gives you mental peace. Now I am saying, when you fall asleep and transcend the body, really do you miss it? You don't miss it, really. Do you miss any of the waking state? I mean any of the details of the waking state? You don't miss it. That means we suffer its loss. We suffer the thought of death before death. We suffer the thought of losing the body. We suffer the thought of losing the body before losing the body. You have to hear it again. I know you haven't heard the whole sentence. Because within one sentence you go home and come back 1,000 times. We suffer the thought of the idea that I will lose the body. We suffer that thought only when the body is still there. But once the body is lost, there is no suffering, there is no thought of it, there is no loss. There is no loss. Therefore, never look upon death as something frightening, nor it is a loss. Death doesn't represent any loss. Death, leaving the body doesn't represent a loss. Leaving the body doesn't represent any unhappiness. Leaving that body is exactly like leaving your shirt, old garment, and putting on new one. As simple as that. In fact, death is also not something that's painful. Pain is only before one leaves the body. When man is still in the body, I am still living in the body, and there is a cut on the body, and it's painful. But once I leave the body, there is no pain. There is no pain. Therefore, don't look upon death as either frightening or painful or incurring any loss or losing some opportunity. There is a kuch nahi. Why? Because I have lived through my life and I leave the body, and then having left the body, I have to take another form. Why? If I took this form, what can prevent me from taking another form? I mean, this is such a simple logic. Let us not make an issue of a very simple thing in life. Don't split hair. Don't split hair where things are very obvious. These hair splitting arguments. Understand, and don't make issues of the very obvious. If I can take this, if I have taken this form, I can take it. I can take another form again. Why? Because the one most, questionable instance is that what can happen again. Good enough. What can happen once can happen again. Is there something which can happen only once? How many Indian marriages? Only once. Can't happen again. As a good night. What can happen once can happen again. Therefore, to say this is the first life and the final life makes me sound stupid. When I say this is the first life and the final life, the one who says it really sounds stupid. Our Shastra says this is one of the many lives. If a person can really go to sleep, he can go to sleep again and again. If he can wake up once, he can wake up again and again. Therefore, what can happen again and again and again and again and again and again until the reason for it is removed. If you can become angry once, you can become angry again and again and again and again and again until the reason behind it is removed. Are you able to follow? Therefore, andavanda ime dehaha. Krishna says, better recognize these bodies have to come to an end. Nityasya muktaha sharirinaha. But every body is taken by Nitya. Nitya means the eternal. Body is called a body because someone is wearing it. I am telling you, like a shirt is called a shirt because it's worn by somebody. Somebody puts it on. Somebody puts it on, therefore it is a shirt. This is called a body because there is someone who is wearing it. Look at this word wearing clearly. Just as this body wears the shirt, in the same manner the body is worn by the subject. Listen to this particular analogy. How we wear a shirt. The body wears a shirt and looks different. The clothes, what you wear can make you look so different. Can make you look so different. That is why really there is so much of business. The shirt can make you look different. Totally different. Similarly, just as the body puts on the shirt and looks different, in the same manner, the eternal conscious being puts on the body and looks so different as non-eternal. The eternal puts on the non-eternal body and looks non-eternal. Like the body puts on the shirt and looks so different. You put on an ugly shirt, look ugly. Put on a good shirt, look good. In fact, what you put on, that will be your look. That is how you look. You always look as per what you put on. Similarly, the Paramatma, the eternal, also puts on the body. If it puts on the black body, dark body looks dark, tall body looks tall, short body looks short. In fact, this body also is like a shirt put on. By whom? Nityasya, the eternal. The one who is putting on the body is Nityasya. Uktaha, said to me, Sharirinaha. Now, who is this eternal? As long as he is in the body, putting on the body, then we call him Shariri. This body is called Sharira. The one who wears it, Shariri. Money is called Dhanam. The one who has it, Dhani. House is called Griha. And the one who has it, Grihi. Are you able to follow? Are you able to? A stick, a walking stick is called danda. And the one who has it, dandi. 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 Anger is called krodha. The one who has it, krodhi. Are you able to follow? In the same manner, the body is called sharira. And the one who has it, shariri. What are we? Shariri or sharira? Shariri. We are what? Shariri. You know, suppose you put on a shirt, you can't say, I am the shirt. I am not the shirt, but I am wearing the shirt. Similarly, I am not the sharira, but I have put on the sharira. Therefore, the shariri who dwells in the sharira leaves the sharira to take another sharira, whereas the sharira has to come to an end. Shariri doesn't come to an end. He is there to take another sharira. What is our identity? Shariri, not sharira. Our identity is dehi, not deha. Therefore, don't value a person when you are living with a person. Don't go by the sharira, but go by the shariri. Actually, I am telling something little subtler. Your thinking is closer to you than your sharira. What did I say? Your thinking is closer to you than your sharira is. Your sharira is far away from you, so to speak, whereas your thinking is very close, because actually what you enjoy and suffer more than anything in this world is your own thinking. It is your thinking that you enjoy. It is your thinking that you suffer. It is your thinking that makes you respectable or not disrespectable, whatever. Your thinking. Therefore, your thinking is important. That is why when somebody's thinking is very good, then you grow out of his looks. You don't care for his looks. If a person is good. But if a person's thinking is not good, even if he looks very nice, after some time, in fact, you lose the charm even for the looks, because the thinking is not right. The person is not right. Therefore, we should, in comparison, when we compare, value the thinking more than the looks. Therefore, promote right thinking rather than spending money to promote looks. Because even if you promote looks, once you touch 50, 60, you have to give up. There comes a time when you simply give up. That day you feel liberated. You understand? Your struggle to look better, one day you have to give up, because kuch hota nahi. And the day you give up, you look better. Why? That tension is gone. That tension to look better, once that is gone, then you start looking very nice. Why? There is no tension. And therefore, you can't really waste time promoting only looks and. That is okay, that can be a part of life. But the emphasis also should be to promote thinking. We should promote values, promote attitudes, promote respect. A society can't survive only on good looks. Everybody has good looks. It's all right. That is a part of life, but we survive on right thinking. Therefore, the thinking is closer to us than the form. That thinking never dies. The body dies, the body becomes lifeless and it is burnt and gone. The thinking that you do never gets burnt. Your thinking always becomes unmanifest in you, and when you leave and go to another form, you carry your thinking. I am telling you an example, this don't take it lightly. Because it is only when we are not clear, we are casual. Ambiguity creates casualness. Once you are sure, then you become serious. Once you are sure. Supposing you are very sure it is going to rain today, you will carry umbrella. But supposing you are not sure, there is ambiguity. ये बारिश के बारे में कुछ कहा नहीं सकते, आ भी सकता है, नहीं भी आ सकता. That's called ambiguity. Whenever you have ambiguity about a thing, then you are casual. Then you become dhila dhala. You may or may not. In fact, a lot of things happen. A lot of times we miss the bus because of ambiguity. What did I say? A lot of times we miss the bus because of ambiguity. And if you should not miss the bus, then you should be very clear. And the topic here about which you can't afford to be ambiguous is that the way you think, you always carry with you. It is not suspended here. It is always with you. The ways of your thinking always become manifest in you and again become unmanifest in you. And when you are born in next life, the same ways become re-manifest in a seed form. Slowly they germinate. The seeds that we carry to the next life germinate. And that is why you can see the saplings taking place in the minds of the children. The saplings happening. The saplings happen. And sometimes, in fact, before they become huge, you can rectify, you can straighten, you can re-educate the children. If a child is born with a temperament, that is too unconducive to his happiness, that's too bad, then you can always re-educate, because re-education is always relevant. Supposing I am wrongly educated, then I have to unwind myself. I have to re-educate myself. How many times it happens? It's like making your roti. First time when you are making roti, so the first time you make Indian naksha. Bharat ka naksha banate hain. Then what do? Then just, remake it. Again you do it, and again it doesn't come out well. Remake it until it comes out round. Then you keep remaking. Re-education must be valued in life. Never give up. If somebody is bad, don't give up. You can always re-educate a person. You can reorient a person. You can re-educate a person. But supposing I have no opportunity to be re-educated in the next life, what will happen? I am born into somebody's family with all my bad sanskaras, let us say. Right from my childhood, I think in a different way. I don't think in terms of values. I don't care for the right and wrong. I just care for only what I like, not what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. I don't think. I just think of, I like it, I must have it. I like it, I must have it. Therefore, then supposing somebody is not there to reorient my thinking, re-educate my thinking, then I'll grow wild. then it will be a problem. And therefore, don't leave it to time. When it comes to your thinking, you better take charge of your thinking. You better don't expect others to rectify your thinking. You better rectify your thinking, because that is very valuable to you. Because when you leave this world, that is the only asset that you carry with you. You don't carry the body with you. You don't carry your, all the gadgets with you. You don't carry your Gurgaon property with you. And you don't carry anything. You don't carry anything. You don't carry anything. You carry only your thinking. That is why when a person falls asleep, he leaves everything behind. Everything, he doesn't carry anything. All that carries with him is his own thinking becomes unmanifest in him. And when he wakes up, it manifests with him. Like a scientist who falls asleep, his entire scientific thinking, that temper, you understand, that direction of his thinking becomes manifest in sleep and becomes again unmanifest. A scientifically thinking person, when he wakes up, doesn't become unscientific. It is a musician goes to sleep, he takes with him all the impressions, the love for music, etc., that sanskara, let me call that word sanskara, and becomes unmanifest in him. And when he wakes up, that sanskara becomes remanifest. Therefore, the one asset that we carry with us when we die is our thinking, our view, our outlook, our fundamental outlook about life. These things definitely go with us, and they form the initial capital for the next life. They form the seed for the next life. And therefore, even though one loses the form, the knowledge that the body is subject to go one day, need not make you frustrated. You can spend whatever time is available by way of promoting your thinking, by way of promoting the right thinking, by way of promoting the right attitudes. Mentally keep growing. Mentally keep growing. It is that mental growth that you carry with you. Sanskaras carry with you. And as far as you are concerned, you never die. Therefore, what goes? Neither the thinking dies, nor the shariri dies. Then what dies? Sharira dies. And it is good that it dies. Why? Because after some time, it becomes uninhabitable. It's like, when the house is uninhabitable, then you just break it down and remake it. Similarly, here also the body, when it is uninhabitable, it is good that it goes, and then it will reappear. And understand, we don't carry our labels. This is another most beautiful thing in life. Death has a beauty that we leave all our labels here. Labels means, I am this form, I am an Indian, I am a Brahmana, Kshatriya, I am young, old, and I am religious, non-religious, I am rich, poor. These labels that we parade with in the society, these labels that, we enjoy, we always try to put our labels on that public display. We always put them on display because they give us something perhaps in the society. And therefore, these labels, fortunately, we just leave them. It's a liberation from labels. Maybe next life I will have another set of labels, that is a different matter, but the old labels are all gone. The old labels are all gone. Therefore, it's a freedom. Therefore, look at death not as a loss, not as a pain, not as something unusual, not as something unholy or anarth. Death is not anarth. Death is not anarth. Death is a part of life. I have to just, like sleep is not anarth. Another thing. This is over. I will continue to the next slide. Listen to one more point. A person is feeling sleepy and try to attract his attention. थोड़ा इस किताब को पढ़ के बताओ. Man is feeling sleepy. He is almost, feeling sleepy. And then you go to him, please, can you explain this verse? Will he be interested? Will he be interested? Will you like it? I tell you, sometimes it so happens, even if you have got something very important, some value, some material thing also, okay. When you are feeling sleepy, nothing interests you except sleeping. Why? Because there is nothing sweeter than sleep. There is nothing sweeter than sleep. Do you know what it means? There is nothing sweeter than yourself. Sleep represents just yourself being minus anything. It is in the form of sleep represents, sleep implies existence of oneself to the exclusion of every thought. Existence of oneself to the exclusion of every thought. If sleep is sweet, what does it mean? You are by nature sweet. And therefore, at the time when you are feeling sleepy, you are not interested in anything. You are not interested in it. Therefore, you would love to be sucked into sleep. You love to forget the world. You crave to forget the world and not miss it. You crave to transcend the body and the world, and you crave to transcend even the memory of it. You deliberately want to get out of the thought of the body and the world and even the memory of it, without getting the guarantee that you will wake up. Understand? Do you have the guarantee? When you fall asleep, do you have the guarantee? You believe that you will wake up, that is okay. But believing is not a guarantee. Because there are many people who just die off. That means what? I don't mind transcending the body and the world and the thought and the memory without being guaranteed. That means the love for peace is so much. And therefore, even if I don't want to be disturbed, when I am feeling sleepy, I don't want to be disturbed. Similarly, when a man is dying, he doesn't want to be disturbed. That means not painful. He just wants to be left alone to fall asleep. There is no dying, there is only falling asleep. He just transcends. Sleep is another term for death. We call it death. That's a wrong term. He transcends he leaves the form, he leaves the thought. And when you leave the form and thought, what are you? Absolutely peaceful. A man in sleep is absolutely peaceful, and a man who dies also is absolutely peaceful. Therefore, you don't have to pity, you don't have to show your kindness for that soul. It's not being wisdom. I don't say it's hard. That's why Bhagavan Krishna says, the wise do not grieve for those who have gone and not yet gone. Why? Because nobody dies. Nobody dies. Because death is not for the being. Neither the thinking dies, nor the thinker, the person subject dies. Really, we just transcend the thoughts. And therefore, let not the fear of death preoccupy your mind in life. Don't allow the fear of death to occupy your mind. Don't have to unnecessarily think only about death, kya. Either you are thinking about the prospect of your death, or you are thinking about somebody's death, and all the time getting nervous. I say make the best of life. Make the best of the life and use it for, not for enjoying the world, use it for understanding life. It is not merely enjoying objects. Oh, life is so short, therefore let us go to Kakeda Hotel. You understand? Life is short, therefore let us go to Kakeda. What? Where is the connection? There is no connection at all. This is not what is right. Therefore here Bhagavan says, Antavanta ime dehaha nityasyokta sharirinaha. Next line. Don't feel tired. I know it is humid. Anashnaha. Bhagavan uses the word anashi for the self. You have no nasha. Body has nasha. Body can age and die. But the one who has put on the body has no nasha. Anashna. Aprameyasya. We are by nature indestructible. You can't destroy yourself. Nobody can destroy it. Like when somebody kills me, he can really cut the body into pieces. That's all the maximum he can do. The moment the body is cut into pieces, the faculties become unmanifest. All the faculties become unmanifest, the thoughts become unmanifest back in their source. That means my faculties go back to their source, myself, and even the thought that I am the body becomes unmanifest. When the thought that I am the body becomes unmanifest, there is neither pain nor pleasure. How there is no pain, understand? The thought that I am the body, the thought of identification with the body becomes unmanifest. It doesn't die. The thought of identification with the body doesn't die. Thought doesn't die. Thought becomes unmanifest. What did I say? The thought doesn't die. It becomes unmanifest. When the thought that I am the body becomes unmanifest, then the pain related to that thought also is not there. And therefore, the person may take away my body, but he can't kill the being. He can't, that truth is not actual. He can't kill the truth that I am. He can only kill. He can only cut the body. The person is there. Now, in what way have you taken revenge? All right, you have destroyed the body. In what way have you triumphed? They say, you have denied him the pleasure of the rest of the life, the remainder part of life. Hey, that is what you think you have denied, but he doesn't feel that he is denied. He doesn't feel that he is denied. He doesn't even miss the body. Maybe he will wake up in a better body. The travel continues. The travel continues, and therefore you can't harm anybody. In fact, by harming others, you are harming yourself because you are accumulating sin, and sin will bring you only unhappiness, because you can't harm anybody. Everybody is eternal and everybody is traveling. And the most beautiful thing is that every human being should only study himself and discover how he is eternal. That would be a beautiful realm, beautiful situation. Just harming others and feeling triumphant. Are you able to follow? Whenever you can successfully harm somebody and take away his money, then you feel triumphant. But that day you will celebrate in Kakeda. You celebrate in Kakeda. What is there in that? You haven't really harmed. In fact, you have helped him. At least you have liberated him from this very, very unlucky body. Because since he was born, he has had problems. And you killed him. Therefore, he is liberated from his unlucky body, and maybe he will get a lucky one. anashinaha, we are indestructible. Therefore, trying to destroy somebody is a waste of time. Then what is the right way of using time? Instead of destroying somebody, you better help somebody and help yourself. Try to be helpful rather than harmful. Try to use time for your own growth. The next word is aprameya. Now, another few minutes, this particular word, prameya. Prameya means an object. These senses are called pramana. Sense organs are called pramana. Pratyaksha pramana. Any sense object is called prameya. We by nature are not an object. We are the subject. The one who is aware of every object is not another object. Did you hear this? The one who is like the light that illumines every article in the room is not another article. The light that illumines every piece of furniture is not another piece of furniture. In that manner, we are aware of every form, we are aware of sounds, we are aware of taste, touches, smells. Therefore, even though we are wearing a form, but the one who is aware of every form, including this form, we as a conscious being is not an object. And if we are not an object, we are not prameya. And as not prameya, we are called aprameya. You see, I am trying my best to explain to you, you should not miss the opportunity. God-given opportunities should not be missed. Because you don't know in future whether your own members of the family will allow you to come to Rama again. Who knows? Because for a person to be able to spend an hour with the Shastra, you require all the powers in the creation to cooperate with you. All the powers in the God's creation, because even a small little thing can come in the way. That driver, just before you came, before you started to come to the class, and the driver said something and you didn't like it, you lost the mood for the class. Pura din kharab. Then you go back home. You go inside the house. From outside you learn, mujhe nahi jana hai. Possible or impossible? Possible. Or somebody said something. And therefore, we need only the slightest excuse to discontinue any right thing. That is why, understand it, why the truth is called aprameya, why we are called aprameya, because we are not a sense object. Therefore, don't look upon others as sense objects. I tell you, studying Vedanta will rectify your attitude to others also. We look upon other human beings as sense objects, objects of pleasure, objects of flesh, objects of pleasure, objects which can be sold and bought. This attitude towards other people, it comes to an end. If we listen to Bhagavan Krishna, Bhagavan says, hey, you are not another sense object, and nor others are a sense object, because everyone is a conscious being who is aware of every object. The one who is aware of every object is the light that illumines all objects, the observer of all objects, the seer of all objects, the one who is conscious of all objects. That is called aprameyam. Look upon yourself, look at yourself as the subject, not as an object. If it is an object, then really we are treated as objects. When we treat one another as objects, then we can't even really, there is no sacredness of attitude. Our attitude is never proper then. If I look at another person as a buyable commodity, as a saleable commodity, as an object of pleasure, as an object, like any other object is an object, then can you really have the right attitude? You can have the right attitude to your parents, you can have your right attitude towards your husband, towards your wife, towards your children, towards your cook and driver and your cat and dog, everything. They say, we are not these forms. We are the conscious being, the eternal with a form. We are the eternal with a form. We are not forms. Like wave is not a form. Wave is water with a form. Are you able to follow? What is wave? Is it a form or water with a form? Water with a form. Similarly, we are not forms. We are the truth, assuming a form. And therefore, let not the forms rule the roost. Let the perception of the truth that we are the spiritual being, the subject, the conscious being, the unnegatable being. We are the being unlike the form. We are the being that survives the form. We are the being in such a fullness. We are not an aging form. We are a being in such a fullness. Thus, that view that we are a being in such a fullness, that is something that can then set right life. That attitude can set right life. Whereas thinking that we are all just form, then you always try to sharpen your form. Everybody is trying to sharpen his form. Then we live like forms. We live like forms. The content is missed. When we live as forms and miss the content, definitely we live a life minus the content. Therefore here Bhagavan says, I'm just half a minute. Anashino prameyasya. And now see, look at the verse. Tasmat yudhyasva bharata. And therefore Arjuna, without fear of death, with the clarity about what you are, you fight on in life. You fight your battles. Meaning what? You live your life. Live your life with clarity about what you are and who you are. I hope I have conveyed it. Don't live your life in the dark about yourself. There's no use of living your long life without being aware of what we are. Live your life with the clarity as to what we are. Live as the eternal. Live your life as the eternal with a non-eternal form. Don't live your life as a mere non-eternal form. Don't live your life merely as a non-eternal form, but live your life as the eternal with a non-eternal form. Live as the eternal, live as the truth, live as the light with a non-eternal form, rather than living as the non-eternal form. Therefore, life becomes interesting, enjoyable, and it is only when you live as you are, rather than live with the notion that you are a form. Tasmat yudhyasva bharata. We have completed the verse. We'll see the next verse later. Om Purnamada Purnamida Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Tadichyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Om Tat Sat.